Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about preserving leaves. When I found this, I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. My brain was like, whoa. I've been looking at preserving leaves for years, and I've always thought I'd love to make them into something. Like, could you imagine making leaves into clothes for fairy dolls or for yourself? And I thought it's never possible. I've dried them, I've ironed them, I've pressed them. And then this year I found how to use glycerin. So it's 50% glycerin, 50% water. You put the two in a bowl, mix it 50-50. These leaves have been preserved. Look, these are ready for me to turn into something. And they bend, they're flexible, you can sew with them. So first of all, 50% water, 50% glycerin, put into a big glass bowl or a big bowl. But when you put the leaves in, when you take them off, they fall off the tree, and just as they're falling, they're at their best. They're at their prime then for like doing this and preserving this way. Some leaves don't work, some leaves do. I found the thicker leaves are better. So the big sycamores, the big sycamore leaves like these ones, they preserve really well. They feel like leather. They're absolutely beautiful, but they feel like leather. Then I had some beech leaves, but they're all different. The thicker ones, these ones are really thick. Now I know they may look a little bit distorted, but trust me, when you use them, they're not rotten. They're just like damaged bits of it. But you need so when you collect them, you need to chop the bottom off here. You need to cut it, because it's capillary action. Apparently the way that this works is that the glycerin is absorbed into the leaf veins, into all the veins. Look, and you can see the veins there, absorbed into all the leaf veins, and replaces the water so they don't go crisp, so they don't dry out. And these have been, this box that I have here has been all preserved, and they've all sat in this box for the last 2.5-3 months. So they aren't rotten, they're still all ready to go. They're not rotten at all, they're not rotting away. Any rotten ones you get, throw it out. If you think, oh, that's going to be a really bit mouldy, but don't throw them out because they're a little bit damaged, because it's all part of the process. You know, they're not going to be perfect, but who needs perfect? Life isn't perfect. Nature is perfect in its own way. You don't need to perfect it anymore. These, I'm looking forward to doing something with leaves. I found these only last week. So they're still out there in England. If you go and scour, you'll find some in England. These I got off a eucalyptus tree. And all I did with these was put them into a vase of water. Didn't soak the leaves, put this stem into a vase of water, and then the glycerin preserved them. Look, you can see they're preserved. They're not rotting, they're not going bad, they're not going dry. They're perfectly preserved. What a wonderful thing, eh? So, and then people say to me, hang on, let me get back to it. Put them into the bowl with the 50-50. Now, I bought a litre of glycerin, which you can reuse over and over again. You don't have to just use it once, you can keep reusing it. So that's what I did. And all of these come from 1 litre of glycerin. Now, I put it on my Amazon affiliate store, because everything that's on there I have bought and I like. I won't put anything on it that I don't like and I haven't bought. So that's, if you go onto my Amazon affiliate store, you can find them. Crochet Crazy Helen again. And the glycerin's there, and it's $8.99 for 1 litre. If you go and buy it at a shop, like because they use it for cooking and they use it for things like that, but if you go and buy it like that, you just get a little bottle for like $3.99. Whereas this was $8.99 for a litre, and it's just used over and over again. And it's still downstairs. And the other day, obviously, I hadn't used it for about a month, and I found these leaves, and it was still okay, so I used it. So that's the basics. Then you leave it when you've submerged it, put something heavy on top of it so that all of the leaves submerge into the glycerin. Excuse me, I've got to let my cat in. And all of the leaves submerge into the glycerin and then leave them for 5 days. When you take them out after 5 days, get some kitchen roll and pat them dry. So just dry them off, like make sure they're dry, and then leave them. I put them in this box and I just left the box open by the radiator. I went through it. Originally I put them onto trays so that I could sort out any that I thought were not going to stay preserved and were going to rot. So yeah, do that. I mean, even the imperfect leaves I think are absolutely wonderful. Honestly, I'm just blown away by it. So after 5 days, take them out, wipe them off with tissue, leave them out so they get the air and they're okay. And then, yeah, now time to play with them. Somebody said to me, well, what can you do with them? You can live and put them in, you can use them like that as anything really. But the first thing I did, and what I aim to do, is to make material out of them. That's the main thing. So what I did here, this was a book I made, but on the front, this is the leaves, and I chopped them into tiny little squares, like this. Chop them into little squares, like that. But you don't need to. But that's what I did, all these little squares. Yep. And then I sewed them onto some backing material. Now this is just an old pillowcase, so it's not, that's all it is. It's an old pillowcase. You don't need to spend money. If you can see, I sewed the lines and I sewed them down there and down there. This will last for years. And I know I've spoken to somebody who said that these last for years, that the colour stays. I mean, that's the colour from months ago. It's not altered in the least. I can't quite get my head around it. And that really, I tried flowers, they didn't work. It didn't work with flowers. People ask me, have you tried flowers? And I'll say yes, but they didn't work with flowers. So I wouldn't bother with them. I mean, try them if you like. Maybe a hardier flower stem. Definitely nothing white works, or anything that goes light pink, it doesn't work. Maybe something thicker and harder and darker might work. But I've tried flower stems. The leaves that I found that were the best were the sycamore. And these, I'm not sure what they are, like a mapley type leaf. And oak. That wasn't an oak one, but oak. I've used a lot of the oak. And these are birch, and they dried well. They preserved well. Yeah, they've got marks on them, but it doesn't matter. It's not all about perfection with this. You are preserving nature. And my friend, she's washed. She's made some material out of them. She's washed it in the washing machine, can you believe? I said, I don't believe that. But she did. But she's going to make some clothes. So the next thing, I've seen people, this one guy, he sent me this lovely picture of a tie he'd made with the leaves. So he made the leaves and he sent me a picture of a tie. Then I've seen others where they're wearing them as like shawls. I think that's just beautiful. So literally the world is your oyster once you've done it, and that really is the way. That's how I've done it. And excuse my glasses. And I just loved collecting the leaves, and I loved preserving them, and I just enjoyed this. But now to make something from them, I'm gonna hopefully make something clothing, or I thought maybe a bag. Like a handbag, a carry bag or something like that. I thought I could make something like that. But hey, watch this space. And, watch this space. Because the ideas are exploding in my mind. So anyway, I hope I've answered the questions that because a lot of people ask me the same questions about how does it work? Does it work? Well, it does work. It does. If you try it and some of the leaves don't work, throw them out. Because ultimately, it's just a leaf. And if you're not doing anything to it that makes it unbiodegradable, just throw them out and try some more. You know, it's trial and error. There's plenty of these leaves out there. So, you know, just do as many as you can, and some will work and some won't. But, you know, trial and error. So anyway, I'd like to say, I hope that you can find yourself a few leaves somewhere. And, yeah, happy playing. And I hope that was informative enough. Any questions, please put them in the comments down below. And also, please, if you like this, if you like what you're seeing, I've got lots of more things. Me and Kath have got lots of things coming up. Lots of reusing things you would throw out. Oranges, eggs, eggshells, orange shells, cardboard, everything. I've got my mind's full of them, and they will be being put on YouTube. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Yeah, if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And a comment, that helps too. So have a good day, everybody, and thank you very much for watching me. And lots of love. Happy playing.